We are embarking on a journey to the farthest points in space that we can currently identify and describe. Get ready for this mysterious journey as we begin our enchanting adventure. Right now, we are approximately 80 kilometers above where we live, just an hour away. Slowly ascending, we are headed towards the closest celestial body to us, the Moon. Dozens of astronauts have been here before, and some have even walked on the surface of the Moon. Currently, we are about 400,000 kilometers away from home, just 3 days' distance in our spacecraft. We are so close that it feels as though we haven't even left home, and everything feels familiar and safe. The footprints of the first man to step on the Moon, Neil Armstrong, are still here because there is no air current to disturb them. These footprints will continue to remain here for millions of years. Now, we are going even farther, a little bit more distant. In the darkness, we see a friendly face, the goddess of love, known as Venus. There are yellow clouds surrounding it. And those yellow clouds are reflecting sunlight, making it the brightest planet in the solar system. It is a sibling to Earth, of the same size. However, beneath those yellow clouds lies a massive web of poisonous gases that have engulfed the planet's atmosphere. The air is dangerous and hot, almost 500 degrees. Nothing can survive here. Despite looking beautiful from Earth, the inside is a complete hell. Thousands of volcanoes are constantly erupting. We are leaving immediately. Right now, we are very close to the Sun, in a very dangerous position. Everything is telling us to return to Earth, but who can resist such a beautiful sight? Our light, our life, the Sun. We are 150 million kilometers away from home, a distance that would take 20 years to cover by plane. If the Sun were to suddenly disappear, it would be so far away that we wouldn't notice for 8 minutes. It is so massive that it can fit 1 million Earths inside. We are very close to it. Right now, the temperature where we are standing is above 10,000 degrees. The temperature inside is in the millions of degrees. But one day it will stop. When the Sun's fuel runs out and it dies, this world will also come to an end. Leaving it behind, we move on to the red planet, Mars. For centuries, we have looked to Mars for companionship and signs of life. Mars has captured our imagination more than any other planet. But here, it is red and dead. According to one theory, life began here millions of years ago and was brought to Earth from Mars. So Mars may be the planet of our ancestors. If this is true, we are all Martians. There must be other secrets waiting to be discovered in space. This is starting to get scary. It's like being in a giant computer game. Look, these are asteroids. Some of them are hundreds of kilometers wide. And they move at speeds of 80,000 kilometers per hour. Most planets were formed by the merging of these asteroids. Jupiter, a giant that is at least 1,000 times larger than Earth and is located 680 million kilometers away from us. However, this giant planet is mostly made up of gases. Look at this. The famous red spot. A storm that has been going on for 300 years and is 3 times the size of Earth. Now we're going into it. There are constant lightning strikes inside this storm. And the lightning on Earth looks like a small spark compared to these. Therefore, the safest way to watch Jupiter seems to be from a distance. Nothing here is as it seems, the universe is full of contradictions and traps. We are 1,195,000,000 kilometers away from Earth, Saturn, the crown jewel of our solar system. A gas giant. and so light that it can float on water. These rings consist of billions of snowballs, some the size of a house. They can stay here forever. We can admire Saturn's seductive allure, but we have to leave here. There are still many distant places we need to go. We are currently in the place that resembles Earth the most. Titan. There is rain, seasons, and rivers here. It is so similar to Earth. But the liquid in these rivers is not water. It's liquid natural gas. Here, there are thousands of times more petroleum and gas than on Earth. If we can transport them to Earth, we can have a source of power for thousands of years. We are now 1.5 billion kilometers away from Earth, and we can no longer see it. As we move forward, we encounter many celestial bodies in space. We are 13 billion kilometers away from home. The farthest object we can see is here. Its name is Sedna. It is so far from the Sun that it takes 13,000 years to orbit around the Sun. Wait. There is something else here. And it's something from us. The spacecraft Voyager 1 is 16 billion kilometers away from home, which is Earth. If it weren't for this antenna-shaped spacecraft, we wouldn't have any idea about the planets and celestial bodies at this distance. It moves 20 times faster than a bullet. And it's sending messages back to Earth, containing some secrets about us. A greeting message recorded in different languages. And a map showing the location of our planet. Do you think it's wise to send such an invitation to the far reaches of space? Any form of life could receive our message and knock on our door, friendly or otherwise. We're currently 8 trillion kilometers away. But in the vastness of space, this is just a baby step. There are trillions more kilometers ahead of us. Until now, we've been looking inwards, but now we're looking outwards. It's time to take a step into interstellar space. A magnificent view. There are billions of stars like our Sun. And orbiting around most of them are billions of planets, perhaps similar to our own Earth. We're 40 trillion kilometers away from home. It's a journey that would take 150,000 years with a spacecraft. And we were only able to reach the next star system to ours, Alpha Centauri. We are now so far away that kilometers are starting to become meaningless. We need to talk in light years. A beam of light travels 10 trillion kilometers in a year. So, 40 trillion kilometers from home means a distance of 4 light years. This is insane. Distances are so huge that it's impossible to grasp. 20 light years away from Earth, the Gliese 581 star. And look at this planet orbiting around it, at an ideal distance from the Sun, just like Earth. If it were any closer, water would evaporate. If it were any further away, it would freeze. This is an ideal environment for the development of life. If there is life here at such a great distance, they may be watching our TV signals and watching TV programs that we broadcasted 20 years ago. However, we still need much more time to be able to communicate with this planet at this distance. This place is boundless. We are 65 light-years away from Earth, which is equal to 650 trillion kilometers. If you connect to a star at this distance, you can listen to Hitler's radio speech from 1940. We are even further away here. We come across 7 stars side by side, known as the Seven Sisters. Orion is a constellation in the night sky. According to legend, the stars represent the daughters of the Greek god Atlas, who carried the heavens on his shoulders. To ease their burden, they were transformed into stars. One of the most remarkable stars in the constellation is the giant Betelgeuse, which is the largest and brightest star we have ever seen. It is 600 times larger than our Sun and could contain 600 million Earths. However, what you are currently seeing is not a star or a planet. It is unlike anything we have seen before. It is a ghostly sight, the dark Orion Nebula, made up of gas and dust located 1,300 light-years away from Earth. Soon, stars will form within this cloud. They are about to be born right now. But there is still time. The birth of a star is one of the greatest creative wonders of the universe. Right now, we are seeing the nebula hanging in space. This image is a masterpiece. The movements inside can reach speeds of up to 200,000 kilometers per hour. A towering, colossal horse head shape in space. Stars are born. They grow, they die. So what happens next? The answer to that question is this image. Right now, you are witnessing the death of a star. Its exploding energy is throwing everything outward. If these explosions didn't happen, none of us would exist today. Look at the whiteness in the center. Its name is a white dwarf. The ghost of the dead star. It has such weight that a teaspoon of it weighs more than 1 ton. Our Sun will also become a white dwarf in 6 billion years. We are heading to a star graveyard, and we are 6,000 light-years away from home, which is trillions of kilometers. We are now in the eye of the storm. Can a star spin or vibrate? Yes, it can, and it's called a pulsar. The width of a pulsar is 20 kilometers, but a needle-sized part of it weighs more than 1,000 tons. There is a lot of radiation here, and it's the deadliest image we have ever seen. We are going further away and feeling something strange, like there is an evil presence here, the only thing we don't want to encounter. It's incredibly black, the face of annihilation, a black hole. It has continued to pull instead of turning into a white dwarf or a pulsar and has become a black hole. It's shrinking, and it has such a strong gravitational force that even light cannot escape from it. There is no matter in the black hole as we know it, and time and space do not exist there. All the laws of physics change there. The truth is, no one knows where this black hole is pulling. We are on the brink of human understanding beyond our perceptions. That huge star is drowning inside that tiny black hole, and we have traveled trillions of kilometers. Yet, we still haven't left our own Milky Way galaxy. An endless universe awaits us, full of wonders and dangers. We are currently 7,000 light-years away from home, still within our galaxy. These light shows are so captivating, like stumbling upon a forest landscape. Everything we have seen so far has been just a tiny part of space within our own galaxy. Now we are in intergalactic space, millions of light-years away, and every point we see is as big as our own Milky Way galaxy. The Andromeda Galaxy, which is 2.5 million light-years away, is a great example. In a galaxy, there are millions of stars and planets. And trillions of such galaxies exist in the universe. Now we are seeing a spiral galaxy, which is so far away from our home, the Earth, that it would take 27 million years for a message from here to reach there. We went even further and are now 2 billion light-years away from home, approaching a quasar. A quasar is the deadliest thing in the universe and is brighter than trillions of galaxies put together. It is so huge that human minds cannot comprehend its size. Stars are much smaller than it, a dust particle next to it. Here, you are seeing an explosion. We all watched the trace of this explosion on our televisions. If you have witnessed the static on a TV that has not been properly tuned, that is the trace of these explosions. The trace of these explosions is located approximately 130 billion light-years away from Earth, which is the trace of the Big Bang. Our predictions about space are limited only up to here, the furthest point where light can reach us. It will continue to remain as the furthest point we know until we discover or find more beyond it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe.